I'm just so grateful that these opportunities allow people to not feel alone.
Justice is in the center of the heart of God. It is all through the Hebrew scriptures, through the law, through the prophets, the history books, the gospels, and the epistles. And it is a missing element in many of our churches and in many of our lives. And so we want to restore it. We want to reclaim it. And so that's why we're having this Faithful Anti-Racism book discussion group.
And they said to me, well, we don't know what to say. And so we're not saying anything. And I remember saying to them, that's not good enough. That's just not good enough. Evangelists would get up to the podium and say things like, we're not going to talk about this because it's a distraction from the mission, from the ministry. But I think that as a white Christian, I have so much privilege, incredible privilege. And with privilege comes responsibility.
As I saw it, there was this profound need to stop what you were doing, go there, and then understand. But what we got sounded a little bit more to me like, I feel bad for you, but we're going to focus on things that really matter. It was as if the shepherd decided to stay with the 99 this time, and it just left the one to fend for itself. And in my mind, the moment required compassion and action and support immediately. But what we got was this kind of vacancy of that spirit. And it was where traumatized Black people collided with antipathy, unresponsiveness, and criticisms about being divisive or engaging in politics or somehow disrupting the peace of the church. It all suggested to me that the challenges of people who look like me were viewed as burdens to the church, and that the church had neither patience nor time for. That moment showed me that the racist dynamics in our country and then the social dynamics of the kingdom, they're profoundly connected. And of course, we're not killing Black people in the kingdom, right? But what drove that officer to choke that Black man to death, that's the exact same thing that drives us to treat people like they don't matter. And here's what I think it is. I think that our country and the kingdom of God share in common a lack of value for Black life and Black experiences. It's the same sin, it's just on a different scale. And let me tell you what that does. What it does is when you lack value for people, it severs the kingdom's connection from Black people, and it causes them to take their burdens and to take their hearts elsewhere to seek a safe space for themselves. So in my mind, our mission kind of ends up spiraling into this self-sabotaging cycle of seeking and saving all nations, Black people in this case, only to drive them away at the same time. So in the waters of baptism, I made this promise to God. I said I would go to my grave building God's kingdom. But what I was watching here back in 2020, I was watching us tear it down with our own hands. And so I was convinced, guys, I was like, there is no way that the kingdom's current social environment could stand before our God. I believe wholeheartedly that that a biblical conviction about God's heart for justice, that's the answer. But I think what's really important is to mention is that it was actually my church's inability to detect and respond to its connection to white supremacy in this country. It scared the dickens out of me when I saw that. And that's what kicked me personally into action. And that's why I made it a priority.